What's up guys, I'm Sam Wickert and this is the VFX Breakdown of Slender. So we put a Facebook and Twitter post out asking for what you guys wanted to see in particular in this, and we got a lot of feedback on both the 3D truck and Eric taking the note off the 3D truck, as well as just the day-to-night conversion in general. So I'm going to do a run through of the entire video and show you how I did the VFX and stop at those key points along the way, as well as others, so let's get started. So the video opens up with a nice dolly shot and you get to listen to Eric's amazing radio voice. But this isn't relevant to the visual effects at all, so we're going to move on to when Eric's walking in the woods. So now you can see we have a wide shot of Eric, and he's got the flashlight, and it's shining onto the ground. And if you watch the behind the scenes, you'd know that this whole video is filmed during the day, and then in post I converted it to make it look like it was nighttime. And that was to avoid all the noise and grain you get when recording at night, and because we didn't have lights or any means of powering those lights out in the woods. So to do the day-to-night conversion, you're going to want to make sure your footage doesn't have harsh highlights, and you want to make an attempt to film under shadows or during overcast weather to avoid harsh shadows. Then in After Effects, you want to have desaturated footage. In my case, my footage already had CineStyle. And then next, add curves and bring down the colors and play with the curve, and then bump the blues up by adding the hue and saturation effect, and use the colorize setting. In this example, I have the top half of the footage lighter with a gradient, making the ground darker for more realism. Also, since we filmed it during the day, I had to make the flashlight look like it's actually shining. So to do that, I used Video Copilot's optical flares, and I animated that each shot, and then I also had to make it look like it was shining onto the ground. So to do that, I added an effect called CC Spotlight to a solid, and then I took the original footage without the nighttime effects on it and made a matte out of that in the solid to make it look like the flashlight was shining onto the ground, because the original footage has light on it from the sun. So using this technique, you can make it look like it's coming from one source. Moving on, we now have Eric walking up to the truck. And this truck is actually a 3D model I made in particular for this video, because I had to model it off of the game. And the note on the truck is actually just motion tracked to the truck as well. And that's from a green screen shot we have that's coming up later. And I did this just like I normally would in any video, is I didn't do the render, in particular for the nighttime shot. I made it look like it's supposed to be for the day. And then in post, I brought the colors down just like I did for the footage to make it look like it's at nighttime. And that allowed me to do the same thing that I was talking about earlier with the flashlight onto the truck. And then another thing I added was smoke in the foreground as well as plants in front of the truck, and that was very important. It really added time to the effect, made it look like stuff was growing around it and interacting with it. So now of Eric walking up to the truck, and he sees the note on it. And this shot is actually just Justin holding a green screen up, and then I keyed out the green screen and then it just had the note on it, and I tracked and put the render behind it. And that allowed us to have the shot of Eric interacting with the note and the 3D truck. So now we have Eric just continuing to walk through the woods. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Slenderman right there. So now we are continuing to walk through. That lens flare was a real pain, not gonna lie. Now he's walking up to the bathroom. And I also made this model in a 3ds Max, and this was actually very challenging to do. I had to spend a little while figuring out how I was actually going to do this, because Eric's shining the flashlight on the inside of the bathroom, and it was going to be very difficult to make a light in 3ds Max to shine onto the bathroom and get it right perfectly, or I'd have to keep re-rendering it. So to work around that, what I did was I made the render and then also rendered out a normal pass. And the normal pass allowed me to bring it into a plugin in After Effects called Normality, which is free. You should check the link in the description and download it and play around with it. I was able to use that plugin along with a light in After Effects to light the inside of that bathroom. It's a very powerful concept. You can use it in a number of ways, and that allowed me to make it look like there's light casting on the inside of the bathroom and also the size of the bathroom no matter where I move that light. And you can also see I added the plant swaying on the exterior of the bathroom just like I did for the truck. So there's a VFX breakdown. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, if you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment or hit us up on Facebook or Twitter. And also be sure to subscribe to be notified of new content. Thanks.